Hello, everyone. Hello. I am a little stiff in the face here. There we go. Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Club. All right. Well, we've got another great day of Final Fantasy. Let me get logged in here. A little queue. That's usually what Ultros has going on. Just a little queue there. Back to the relic grind. I should be able to get another relic today, which is great. They look so good. I'm so happy with how these relics look. I have not really found... I've been using the original relic from... A Realm Reborn on my White Mage since basically it released. It's, let's see, the Zenith, I believe it's called. Where is it? Right here. This specific one. This is the one with the blue gem, and when you take it out, it has the aura. This is the only White Mage staff in the whole game, other than maybe this one, and this one's just kind of pretty mid. This is the only one I really like, so I've been using that since it came out, and I've been waiting for them to release a weapon that doesn't look like garbage. And they just can't do it, it seems, until recently, and then they gave us this one here. This one is, this one's great. I'm super into it. Look at this bad boy. It's pink and blue, and it's got hexagons. And it could not be more perfect for me, because those are all the things I like. Hexagon, pink and blue, cool, like sci-fi vibe. I'm into it. And it's got like black metal, which complements it quite nicely. Very good. So, and I've also got the sage one, for anyone who hasn't seen. These things are really cool. So yeah, I'm super into it. So we are probably going to go for the red mage one next. What am I rocking right now in the red mage? Just the red mage one. It goes with this outfit along with the wings. Looks really good. I've got the one that has like the special effects on this weapon, but this one just kind of looks better. More grounded look. So we're gonna blow that grounded look out of the water with some holographic weapons. It's gonna be great. All right, so let's get in to a dungeon. Okay, so we're gonna be doing some roulette. So when I do dungeons, I like to play Sage, because their healing comes from dealing damage. In a dungeon, I don't mind getting some damage in there. When it comes to doing trials and raids and stuff that are a little bit harder, or actually hard, because dungeons are not hard in any capacity, I like to play White Mage just to have extra security on healing. Even though Sage is a more than competent healer, you can really do more with White Mage, I feel. When it comes to the saving people from themselves. Okay. This guy's not taking a lot of damage. Oh, he's a paladin. That explains it. What I'm basically doing here is I get I put a shield on. I get these purple diamonds here at the bottom when the shield gets taken away. And basically that's the like sound effect you're hearing every occasionally. And I use the diamonds, the purple diamonds, to use this move here, Toxicon 2. And Toxicon 2 is like a pretty strong AoE. 330 for everyone, and then 50% for the rest. For the first one, then the rest. Woo! That was poor timing. So it does like good damage, but I gotta keep putting a shield on and having it break to get one, which is fine because I need to put shields in this guy anyways or he'll freaking die. So, and if he's really not taking any damage, I can switch to using my just AoE spam skill. Which will help me do even more damage. Yeah, so I have a skill that I can just walk in the middle here. And then every time I deal damage, the best part about this class, and the only reason why I care about dealing damage at all, is because when I deal damage, I actually heal the tank. So it's like everybody wins. The thing I really care about is, dang, that shield has like 1 HP. I don't think I've ever seen it that close. I literally can't see the yellow on the bar. Good morning, Graham. It's 8 p.m. for me, and yet I feel incredibly sleepy now. Ah, well, let me give you the small, soothing tones of my voice to help lull you into sleep. But hello, Scorps. How are ya? So this boss, if you get hit by the staff move, I think if you get hit by most of his attacks, he gives you Doom. The Doom could be dispelled, though. It's like a pretty long cooldown. Don't make me fall asleep. Yeah, I'm still on my computer. That's funny. So Doom has like a 15-second cooldown, or a 15-second timer. If the Doom expires, it will kill you. Just straight up. You just die. But 15 seconds is pretty long, and so you can dispel it pretty easily. However, if you get hit twice, the second one is 50% faster, I think. Oh, here we go. There's a Doom right here. Perfect. So I can display it right here. I wasn't paying attention to what was happening, and I walked right into it. Okay, so this here, halved text by the dark effect. The Doom is ever as it stacks. The moment of Doom draws ever near as stacks increases. So, ooh, a big, thick shield. Okay, don't step on the blue. Okay, and this guy got hit. No worries. Wasn't really paying attention. I guess it's there. Yep. So the next Doom is like half the time. Need a crit on him? No. Okay, very cool. Getting ready for bed extra early while listening to stream, baby. Okay, no worries. Ooh, that guy took a lot of damage. There we go. Ooh. Hot on everyone here. Yeah, so Doom, every time you get hit, Doom is like halved, and so it becomes obviously much more dangerous. So then he sets up these staves again and then makes them invisible. So you just gotta remember where they're at, which is obviously not too hard to do. The only like quote-unquote tricky thing is he'll do these like combine mechanics where we have to spread but also not go on the triangles, and he's straight up dead. Alright. That was very sad for him to step on all those things at the same time. I guess I don't really need to heal him. He's going to heal up pretty fast outside of combat. Yeah, but I guess Doom doesn't really matter if you just die. So it is what it is.
First the villages and now the capital. Nothing is exempt from their avarice.
The only reason I want gear is because I want to desynth it. for decent level ups. Can't do that during combat. I mean, you know what? Fair enough. The heck? That fingering the buttons right now. And throwing that since he's taken a lot. There, everyone's pretty much dead now anyway, so I suppose it is what it is. One of the things I really like about Sage is when you crit, it gives you a double shield. So not only is the shield that you give him, or give the tank, big, because it's crit, it's doubled. So it's a crit and doubled, which is pretty great. Feels nice to throw a big old meaty shield on someone. What's going on here? Black Mage taking damage. On tanky. Pick him up. Oh, I should do the Final Fantasy 16 collab. I guess that's out now, eh? Oh, so I'm not really interested in the reward that it gives, but
This one is
more cool fights. That is something worth seeing. Okay, I'm on my phone now with earbuds in. I'll be doing chores and other stuff while listening. Well, please have fun doing chores. There we go. Landslip. You know, I felt like thought landslip did damage, but I guess not. Okay, let's see. Should be able to go right here. Fine. Okay, got hit. Very cool. Okay, those pillars are gonna fall down, so we want to go. It brings you 2 pillars over. Right here. Cool. Woo! Red mage. Guy really likes taking damage. A big old meaty shield on it. Nice. Ooh. Yep. Cool. Sandblast. Got our shield ready. There we go. Great thing about Toxicon is I can use Toxicon while repositioning. So if I have stacks, I can just move and heal the tank and deal a little bit of damage. Okay, hold on. 2, there you go. Hey, nobody took damage. Let's go. Oops. Thanks, team. Nice job. Get back in the tank. Why is it not letting me target the boss? Okay, we'll switch our Cardia targets. I like juggling Cardia. There's a lot of sages, and no shade to the sages that do this. It's the much easier way of play. But a lot of sages will just keep Cardion on the tank. Which you would think, well, Graham, if you play Sage, you're thinking, well, Graham, of course I keep it on the tank. That's where it should be. I want to heal the tank when I'm dealing damage. But Cardia is an in-between. It's an ability. So you can use it in between spells. So you can throw it onto different targets and then continue to heal through little bits. Do I already have these things? What's going on? There we go. So you could just kind of swap it in between people, and it's pretty great for swapping around people, I think. Okay, let's get this up. Paladins take so little damage. They're like my favorite tank to heal. Well, so little damage, my favorite tank to heal. I do love healing, and it does suck when there's not enough healing to do. So I guess there's that to consider. I do enjoy, like, healing people. But when it comes to safety, my favorite tank to heal is definitely Paladin. I feel like Dark Knight takes the most damage. I mean, unless I'm like looking for a healing challenge, which, you know, to be fair, is nice. Paladin or Dark Knight's pain to heal. They really need a lot of healing. Take a ton of freaking damage. Warrior has a lot of self-healing, even though they do take a decent amount of damage. So it's not that big of a deal. But Paladin's by far the best. Gunbreaker. Yeah, I'm not sure about Gunbreaker too much. I don't really pay too much attention to Gunbreakers. I guess they're like probably in the same camp near Paladin. Probably not as good because Paladin's got shield. But they're probably fine. I don't notice anything too bad about Gunbreaker. All based on intuition. Nice. Smooth run so far, other than the tank dropping aggro like a lot. I guess it's not dropping, they're like failing to pick up aggro occasionally. Kind of strange, but she has a nice outfit though. It's cute.
So be it. I will fight you with all my strength.
Oh, you know what? When I moved the camera, there we go. When I moved the camera, I forgot to change it back.
To fortify my blade.
I see a lot of people fricking this boss's mechanics up. Especially like that orb attack is a pretty consistent one people frick up.
Light or dark, it matters not.
This one. Another one. I just wish Yoshida talked recently about how the game has become too frickin' brain dead easy. I just wish there was some real healing for me to do in this fight. There's just really not a lot of healing to be done. It's very sad. I mean, that goes for like most of the game, sadly, but like unless people are fricking up, there's really not a lot that needs to be done. Hi Graham, hope all is well. And how are you getting on in Final Fantasy XIV? All is very well, thank you very much. Hello, hello. And Final Fantasy XIV is great. I love it. I don't know how that guy got hit from that. so this is the staff. This one looks kind of like a staff. Kind of see it there, or a question mark. So the safe spot is down here. And then there's one other pattern of that one where the safe spot is in the middle, I believe.
Even so, I'll not be bested. Not this day.
Not this day. Let's see about that. Oh yeah. I gotta say, the black mage got hit this time. The red mage was getting hit by a lot of stuff the last couple of battles, and he's not getting hit by like anything now. So maybe his Netflix show is over. Might have to resub again to get my crafting going again. Yeah, the expansion's coming soon. We're 3 months out. Crazy. I'm very excited for the expansion.
Let's see how you fare now.
Okay, so that's a question mark pattern there. It's pretty much dead though. Bye-bye. Endwalker Go Right soundtrack. Yes, and the Endwalker soundtrack is pretty good. Pretty solid. Give it to the tank. I shouldn't have given it to the tank. They were kind of dropping, frickin' not picking up aggro, but oh well. Got a right soundtrack. They have some great soundtrack, that's for sure. Okay. Next up is the 90 dungeon. Dang. Healer queues. I didn't realize there was a queue. I thought I just picked the dungeon and it just pops. I hate this dungeon specifically for the head boss. I think the head boss is really boring. Oh, my card's not working. What the heck? Okay. I have a little card where I'm doing the peace sign. And it's not working. Sucks. Line them to the bottom of the window. Can I move this window? I can. There you go. Cool. Wait, what is going on here? Why are we single pulling? Person watching Netflix too? I can just keep their little cards over there. That's kind of cool. I like that. They're watching it. They had to get their show loaded up. Healer privilege. True. What do you play, Mark? Sounds like you play DPS. I was thinking last night, sometimes I think of like really silly like skits and stuff of just anything. But yesterday I thought of a funny skit where they interviewed someone who's playing Final Fantasy XIV and they asked them how it's affected their personal life. And they kind of like are like, oh well, you know how MMOs are, and then they say how's that affected your relationship and stuff? Like, oh, my relationship and my chores and stuff, they've never been better. They're like, what? Don't MMOs take up like a ton of time? He's like, well, you see, I play a DPS, and sometimes I wait 30 minutes, maybe up to an hour, just to do a dungeon. So while I'm waiting, I just have so much free time, and I spend time cooking and cleaning, and even the queue was so long one night, I even went on a date with my wife before our queue popped. Just imagine something stupid like that. Just like the opposite, obviously, that you would expect. Why am I freaking up getting that freaking feel that? It's so strange. I was a healer. Okay. Interesting. You played healer. Healer. So you know all about the healer privilege. White mage. Okay. Nice. I love me some white mage. That's my main. What is going on? This tank is so strange. By the way, it's Virch. What is Virch? Virtual? It's over here, yeah? Oh, yeah. I hate fighting like a bunch of little stuff. I like fighting like a boss. Mayhem. Mayhem. Virtual mayhem. Oh! Oh, okay. I got it. Hello, Virtual. It's great to see you. So you played White Mage in Final Fantasy. Well, that's wonderful. Yeah, so Graham, what's your opinion on the Astro and Dragoon reworks? Personally, personally, I'm excited for Dragoon. Dragoon is cool. It feels a bit clunky right now. Yeah, well, I'm just wondering what flavor Astrologian will be this time. They have done so many freaking redos and revamps and reimagining and re-understandings and whatnot of Astrologian that at this point it's just like, how many times are they gonna change this freaking class? Jeez Louise. So I'm interested. I'm always looking for more healers. So the one healer I'll never play is Scholar, but I do like Astro quite a bit because I like space and time, so my favorite concepts. So if they make Astro cool, I'm happy to do that. And giving buffs to people is like super fun. I just don't like the way that they work right now, and I've almost never liked the way that they work. So I'm interested in seeing what they got going on. Did I step in that? I did. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what they'll do with that. Got all crafting max, so looking to resubbing. Yeah, well, I am also an Omni crafter. It's pretty crazy. But let's see, move this window up just a touch. There we go. Dang, we didn't get anything. Wonder if they'll go back to time stuff or they'll avoid time magic, leave room for an actual time age. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. They removed a lot of the time references in Astrologian, right? Once Upon a Time, they removed like a bunch of them and made them more like space prediction focused than time focused. So my immense copium is that this is leaving the room for time mage. Come on, tank. Come on, there you go. It's okay. You can keep going. So I'm hoping that they made that that decision because they have planned to do time age for the next expansion, which is gonna be like 2.5 years-ish, 2.5 from now, which sucks, but I will wait. I'm a patient man for time age. I will be dropping as long as like time age doesn't play like really weirdly. I will be dropping time mage, or I'll be dropping white mage for time mage without even a second thought. Time mage is my baby. So, and it will be likely, since the last healer was a shield healer, this new time mage will likely be a pure healer, which is perfect because that's my favorite. Don't mind the shield healing too much, but the pure healing is where it's at. As for Dragoon, no idea. I don't play Dragoon. Akumetsu, my buddy boy, plays Dragoon, he might be able to say more, but he hasn't played Dragoon in a long while, so I don't know what his opinion on it would be. So close, break that shield. Come on, doggos, do better. Here we go. Wait, did the shield drop before it got broken? Sad. What's going on here? This tank is weird as well, just like the last tank. You're not doing a super job of picking up the threat. You're playing as bad as I do when I play tank. Grab that chest, okay. That's what I call a pull. Yeah, that was a little bit better. Except the not picking up the threat. A bit of a problem. This is an okay boss. I wish there were like harder versions of all the dungeons with slightly expanded mechanics and actually like a chance of dying instead of the immensely brain dead experience of going through dungeons. Even the like hard versions of fights aren't actually like hard. So on this boss, I actually noticed this, I guess not recently, but like I noticed this many months ago the first time, but there's circles on the ground in this boss fight. And broke. And the circles represent where the attacks will go when these circle explosions happen. So you can actually like plan it out pretty easily for exactly where you want to stand. What do you think about the previous summoner rework? Personally, I like having magic DPS that's very accessible, but the skill ceiling is a bit low right now. Yeah, I think generally it was good. I know that people are a little down on the fact that they are not really a dot mage anymore, which I think is understandable. I think they could have done the summoning rework that they did while maintaining some level of dottage. I think it like makes a lot of sense for the summoner to be a dot mage, because you get the summons and you start like putting a bunch of dots on, then while the dots are working, you know, dealing with your summons and stuff like that. But they clearly wanted to move away from that, and they clearly have like debuff limitations for how many debuffs can be on a boss. So they want to kind of move away from like dots being the primary damage dealing for probably any class. So unless they can fix that limitation on how many debuffs the boss can have, you're never going to have a dot damage primary healer. Primarily dot damage or dealer. So it is what it is. I think generally overall though, it was quite a win for Summoner. Summoner seems a lot more appealing now. Pretty cool. So I don't really play I don't really play Summoner. Did I say healer? Oh, am I going crazy? Holy crap. I don't really play Summoner myself. Never have. Probably never will. But they definitely became much more appealing to play now with their rework. What's going on with this? This tank is the same as the other tank. Doing strange things with the threat. Ooh, look at that thick shield. Oh, yeah. When DPS get crits, they're all like freaking happy, but when I get a big, thick boy shield, it's good. Nice. I think if we're ever going to play a mage, it would be summoner. If I were ever play a mage, it would be summoner, if that says anything about the accessibility of the class. You like the idea of summoner because it seems accessible? Or do you like it because you like fantasy? Tanko boy taking lots of damage here. Whoops. Dang, Tanko boy taking lots of damage. Nice. I like it because it seems easy, basically. Okay. Yeah, well, if you like Summoner because it looks easy, why not play Red Mage? Red Mage is even easier than that. Red Mage is the most fun mage class. It's very straightforward, but it's micro. The thing that like makes Red Mage engaging is there's lots of micro decisions all the time. You're constantly making little micro decisions, and it helps keep the class feel engaging. I really like that. What you don't want to do here is what that guy's doing there and putting the king. He tried to avoid doing that. He wasn't fast enough. So every time the AoEs hit these little walls things here, they degrade the walls. So if all the walls go away, you get hit by that attack and it pushes everyone into the muck. But the muck doesn't do very much damage, so it doesn't really even matter. Because what are mechanics if not just small annoyances to be ignored? For some reason, I've never been appealed by the Red Mage class fantasy. Really? Dang. Couldn't be me. Battle Mage stuff is freaking amazing. Yeah, I really like the sword fighting plus magic fantasy. It's just fucking the best. Love it. Bom, 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 wow, I did not take a lot of damage. Dang. I just wish we took like way more damage. Like just increase the damage done by like, I don't know. In certain instances, it could probably go up like 10 times. Like, this attack could have done twice the amount of damage. And it would have been fine. The problem is, like, when we first did this dungeon, we had less HP and defense and stuff. Well, maybe not this dungeon, this is a post-game dungeon. But generally, like, how are you going to have that scale later with, like, increased HP and stuff from endgame gear? I guess that's the primary problem. It's a tough problem to frickin' deal with. Woo! I got pushed just barely into the frickin' acid. Oh well, that'll give me some free Cardions. Not that I'm spending them right now. Or Toxicons. Black Clover style? Yeah, I wouldn't know, but if that's what Black Clover is, then that's pretty sick. Okay, there we go. Another one down. Alright, we're going to give it to the monk. Simple to understand rotation, very mobile for magic DPS. Yeah, that's what I like about Red Mage. For some reason, I've never been... random, but I'm surprised how much Final Fantasy players get annoyed by class changes like Sam losing Kaiten or Summoner rework. Yeah, I mean, it's like... Oops, sorry. It's like, you know, some people really get attached to how a class works, and it kind of builds into their fantasy of like, oh, I like the way that this class plays, and it helps me understand, it like represents the fantasy of playing this class. So it like fills the gameplay in their mind, supports the fantasy. And so when that gets changed, either the fantasy, they start to lose some of the fantasy, or just the gameplay itself isn't as fun and intrinsically interesting to them anymore. So I can understand why people get upset about it. But yeah, personally, I haven't had that problem. I guess we'll see with this expansion if anything changes for the classes I currently play, but knowing this game and healing, it's just always going to be very simple most of the time. But what can you do? Okay, so we're gonna switch to White Mage, the main bay. Healing privilege. Levels this guy. 86. You're almost there, buddo. You're almost to level 90 with your Sage. Ooh, Emerald Weapon. Okay, this is a long fight. Or maybe it's Ruby Weapon that's the long fight. One of these is freaking so long. I think it... Maybe this... No, this is the one... Is this the one that drops? No, I think it's Ruby, actually. So many ways to heal, you barely ever need to use them. Yeah. It sucks. But Yoshi did say that he's going to be increasing the difficulty. So... hopefully... that is a good sign. Gosh dang, I hope so. Like, if he made healing... The ironic thing is, like, they're constantly like, we need more healers. Like, oh man, I wish we had... You know, we need to incentivize some more tanks and healers. I think if they made tanks, and especially healing at least, more interesting, then, or more difficult, then they would ironically get more people to play healer. Oh, this is pretty fun. That's awesome. Oh, frick! Oh, shoot. Guess we'll just gear to him as he gets up then. The tank took 4. He's got 4 Vuln stacks. They're gonna repel against each other. Okay. Yoop. Okay. Tank back up. Nice. Very cool. Uh-oh. Nope. Ouch. Close as possible. And he's gonna push us. If I would have lost, that would definitely been very sad. Okay, so same deal here. Okay, I'm gonna back up just a bit. Pay more attention to people freaking up. Pull up. There we go. Let's frick up some more paying of attentions. It's a great song. What kind of tank dungeon pulls do you like the most? I like the big ones. I mean, it just gives me more stuff to heal, right? It makes the healing game more intense. So I'm all about big old pulls. You know, you probably just wall-to-wall pulls so you can heal the tank more. Yep, I like the challenge of keeping a tank up when they're taking an insane amount of damage. One of the first dungeons in Endwalker, I think it was, they have like a pull that's like really crazy. These are gonna push away. Okay. There's like one pull at the last boss fight that's insane. It's so crazy. One of the hardest like dungeon pulls to keep the tank up on. Really fun. So I really like that. What do you think of the free cure passive on White Mage? It's pretty useless and there's so many ways to rework it. Yeah, Square Enix has never done it. Yeah, frick, man. This guy died again. I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I could have saved him. Yeah, well, the free healing. It's funny, there was a thread just recently, or a post just like yesterday on Reddit where people were like bad-mouthing the free heal, and then there was a bunch of people in the chat or in the comments being like, it's not that bad. I don't know, I think it's like fine if you want to be an efficient healer. Then you use, you know, use cure to not fish. You don't use it to fish for free heals. It's just something that coincidentally happens as you use a more efficient heal. Like cure is just a more efficient heal. That being said, the biggest problem with the game is you don't really need to be efficient in your healing, because the game doesn't really work like that anymore. Like there was a time, like when I used to heal in ARR and we did raids, cure was invaluable because you would run out of mana if you didn't use it. So you had to. But we don't live in that world anymore, sadly. Because the idea was like, you know, how like DPS have their like bread and butter, or how they go through their rotation. Well, White Mage had, you know, they had cure. That was like their thing that they were doing all the time. Cure, 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 cure. And then you had to use cure to stay optimal on your mana. And so, you know, it's funny because like people will be upset. They'll be like, oh, freaking, it was so boring to just do cure, 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 cure all the time. Yeah, well, the alternative is obviously much better, where we just do frickin' glare. Obviously, like that's obviously way more fun to just cast glare the whole time. But like I didn't mind doing cure a lot. It was fine because it wasn't just like saying, oh, it was just cure. It wasn't just frickin' cure. You had cure and all the other things that you were also doing around that. So to say that it was just cure the whole time is so silly. Does he transform? Is this the one where the goop comes out? I thought this was a 2-phase, but it seems like it's a 1-phase. Yeah, so like, listen, if someone's like fine with doing glares, which a lot of people are saying, well, we want more complicated DPS on the healer. Okay. It's like, okay, well, HOTS, that's because all the HOTS, etc. When I used to play Final Fantasy as White Mage, just used to tank the Fate. That's right, all the HOTS, etc. Yeah, I mean, like, he goes gold, and that's what this one does, right? Dude, this fight's a log, holy frick. Yeah, so, like, you spend a lot of time doing cure, because, like, that's the most efficient way to keep someone up while retaining your mana, not sinking your frickin' battleship. But, yeah, like, that's fine. It's like people who play Mercy, right? Like, I don't mind playing Mercy. In fact, I like the kind of gameplay that Mercy does, where she's more focused on, like... Okay, don't stand in... Oh, frick! I don't want to run. Oh, frick. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I didn't know how long it was going to be. Oh, frick me. It's like, should I go now or should I just wait? And I picked the worst time. Those stayed way longer than I expected. I had like way more time to go than I expected. Healer. I guess take your time. Where's your swift cast? Pick back, grab the worst healer. True. Alright, what's going on here? Lining up. One here missing in the front. Oh. Nice. Oh, and that guy's dead. So let's do this. Oh, he's up. He's up. Oh, he had swift cast now then. That's so strange. Don't die. Oh, you motherfucker. Yeah, I'm trying to like get this thought out, but frick, I keep getting interrupted. Yeah, so like I don't mind pushing Cure a lot, right? I don't mind playing Mercy and using the beam because I'm more focused. Like when you play Mercy, you're doing like you're more focused on callouts. You're more focused on the battleground situation of like your team's placement and your enemy's placement. It's more focused on movement, and it's more focused on picking the right people to heal at the right times. Right? So I don't mind that gameplay. In fact, that gameplay is fun to me. I like the idea. Holy frick, dude. I like the gameplay of doing that. Like, the beam is fun to use, I think. I like seeing the numbers go up. I like picking the right target to heal, or to boost. And, you know, that supporty type gameplay is fun to me. So when people say, like, oh, well, playing frickin' White Mage is boring because... So I don't know how that's gonna work, friend. I didn't have a shield. I tried to put a shield on. This guy's dead again! Okay, nice. Not gonna frickin' die stupidly this time. Just gonna raise on this dude. Yeah, I like that. So when people say like, oh, well, Cure is frickin' boring, you know, I don't think it's that boring. What's happening? When did we get a 2? Oh, I guess 1 was to get us back here. Okay. Yeah, I think healing is pretty fun. And I like seeing the numbers go up. So I don't mind playing and clicking Cure a lot. And there's also like a lot of other stuff you would do. It's not just frickin' Cure. Cure is like 10%, 20% of your time. You're doing lots of other stuff. And especially because that gives you, it frees up your brain to like watch everyone and do call outs, because I was doing raid call outs at the same time. You know, stuff like that. So it's fun, man. It's really freaking fun. So I'm really disappointed with how healing is right now. So that being said, your question originally was about the free Cure. I mean, like, it's fine. Honestly, I would rather have the Astrologians, which is the guaranteed crit. That thing is freaking sweet. I'd love that. But it is what it is. I don't know. I would love the free Cure if it was required. You know, if you had to actually heal as the design is intended, but you don't. So it's very disappointing in that sense. So it's just kind of whatever. I just use Cure because it's efficient. I know that you don't have to be efficient like that anymore, or in most content at least. In like harder trials or raids, especially with randoms, it does pay to be more efficient and not spend all your mana on glare, because people can frick things up and there's lots of healing to go around sometimes. And so you being more efficient with your healing can save the raid when you're doing pugs, and you never know what pug group you're gonna get until you're frickin' doing it. So you might as well be in the habit of healing efficiently. And like, let's say next expansion, they decide that, all right, now we're gonna have the game actually require healing properly. And it's like, okay, well, the people who have been practicing efficient, proper healing for a long time are just gonna be like the best healers. They're gonna be well practiced and they're gonna be ready to go. And you know, it's just built into how we heal in general, so we're gonna fit right into that. But the people who just are like, oh, well, I actually just like dealing damage, I don't like healing, I prefer dealing damage, well, those losers can go back to playing DPS and leave the healing for the healers so that we can all enjoy healing again. I know a lot of people who moved away from healing because healing wasn't really focused on healing anymore. It was just really boring DPS. And so they moved to DPS. So if they want to encourage people to play healer, have them actually heal and have the healing actually be engaging. Because right now it's frickin' boring and we have way too many tools and not enough damage. So rather than free cure being reworked, something else, content should be made to change and make it more useful, interesting. Yeah, for sure, for sure. There's nothing wrong with free cure as like a concept. It's just, it's a relic of a bygone era where healing mattered in most content. So, it's very sad. Yeah, I mean, same thing with tank. Like, look at this frickin' list here. Most of this is tank. Well, frickin' make tank fun, dude. Like, stop frickin' making tank so frickin' boring, and people will play tank. Like, it's way too frickin' easy to hold threat, and it's way too frickin' easy to stay alive. It's just, it's a boring frickin' role. Look at that, it just updated. Even more frickin' tank stuff. It's boring. Make it, you gotta pick one, Yoshi, pick one. You make tanks, make it difficult for tanks to hold aggro, and so they have to like fight to keep the aggro, so it's like that's the engaging part. Or you make it so tanks have to do their rotation properly, or they don't have, like, let's say if they go through their rotation properly, they gain a buff, like a stacking buff that goes up to 50% and it's 10% per stack, and it decreases the damage that you take. So every time you get the stack, you start to get more tanky. So forget the damage. Like, remove the damage from healers and remove the damage from tanks. Like, literally just make take stance reduce your damage to 1% of what you could actually deal. And then bring back cleric stance and make cleric stance reduce damage to 1%. Just take it all away. And then make the design of the class be focused on the actual role, so you can fulfill the fantasy. Because right now, tanks are just loser DPSs, and healers are just loser DPSs. They, like, fulfill the fantasy of playing a tank and a healer. Please, I beg. And you'll get people that want to go and do that. They want to feel like they're properly protecting the team. Like, have stuff where things target other players and the tanks actually have to do things to protect the other players. Like, give them more freaking buffs that protect players from damage, so that when things go, like, what about like party tank busters, where the healers and the tanks have to work together? Like, random tank busters will go onto DPS or healers, and the tanks have to use, what is that frickin' thing called? It's on my X, yeah. Intervention. Right? Why not give the tanks a bunch of intervention and just let them, that's like part of their core mechanic now. And going through fricking your rotation gives you these stacks of this intervention that you use, or stacks of, you know, going through your rotation gives you stacks of damage down so that you take less damage. And maybe the whole party takes less damage or something. But don't make it so punishing that, like, okay, you drop 1 or 2 rotations and now, like, the whole stack is gone and everyone's taking a ton of damage or you're taking a ton of damage. Just, like, make it decrease in proportion to how many times you fail to go through your rotation, right? Just like how DPS doesn't deal correct damage if they're not going through the rotation, you're not building up enough damage resistance for you and or the party. And so now you're actually doing the roll. Forget the damage. I'm scared of tanking. Well, tanking is super frickin' easy. You don't gotta be scared of nothing. You cannot frick up tanking. It's incredibly easy. If things go smoothly, it's super easy. When things go wrong, I cry. I don't even know if it can go wrong, really. It's so frickin' easy. Just keep hitting the AoE button. Like, genuinely, just keep hitting the AoE button and you cannot frick up tanking. It's so brain dead. Missing aggro to an enemy or 2 while doing pulls. Yeah, just look. You don't even have to do anything special. Just look. And just keep hitting the AoE button. Gotta play high-level warrior. You can't die? Yeah, like, that sounds freaking boring. I mean, unless it's, like, high-level warrior and going through the rotation gives you, like, a whole bunch of healing and damage reduction. Okay, cool. That's cool because you had to do the rotation properly to get to that point. Sure. But even still, the healers need something to do, so you can't have it that way completely. I think the reason tanks are just taunt bots is because there isn't inherently tank in real Final Fantasy games. Well, frick them then. Frick that. Viper doesn't exist either, but they're bringing Viper in. I think there needs to be concessions made. I don't necessarily think that's the case. There were times where holding threat was actually like a responsibility, but they removed that. And the tanking, it's funny because they're like, we got to make tanks easier so that more people will play tanks. And then they made tanks easier. Well, look what happened. They still need more tanks. That didn't frickin' work. So that's clearly not the right answer. The right answer is make tanks more fun and interesting to play, not easier. It's frickin' boring. I think they're, as a baby sprout, I'm scared of leading the group. I'd rather be a DPS who just has to hit big numbers. For sure, a lot of people think that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's fine. Not that I disagree with it. Just look up boss dungeon, Scorps, you got this. Yeah, it's much easier than you think. I'll be sticking to DPS for now. Trying to keep the job fantasy. Viper's technically based off of Zidane. Yeah, well, you know. They had tank. I don't necessarily think that's the thing, Phil. I don't think that's the reason. Because they had tanks in Final Fantasy XI, so I don't think that's the reason. I just think that they, what I think it is they didn't have enough tanks, and the idea that the designers came up with was they would make tanks easier because they felt like when they pulled people or when their anecdotal or their kind of details on the inside, their data suggested that the problem was that tanking was too complex or difficult and people were intimidated, which is like fair enough. But it's not because tanking is difficult that makes it intimidating. I mean, Scorps just demonstrated it. It's not the difficulty of tanking that is scary, because tanking is easy right now and Scorps is still afraid to tank, and lots of people are. It's leading the pace of the thing and the responsibility of, if you miss an enemy, then the enemy starts hitting one of your buddies, and then they're going to get upset or they may die, and that's like so directly on you. And there's so much chaos in keeping check of all of the enemies that it's just intimidating, and there's really nothing you can do to ease that, period. Like, that's just an intrinsic thing that will always be, unless you reduce the number of enemies to like 1 or 2. Then it's even more boring. But the problem isn't the difficulty in doing that, it's the concept in doing it at all. Just leading the charge in the group is in and of itself a scary thing. And so, you know, people are afraid of that. And so what they decided was, oh, well, the reason why people don't want to tank is because they think tanking is difficult, and people are telling us that it's intimidating, so it must be because it's difficult, and so we got to make it easier, and then people will want to tank. But that just clearly didn't happen. That was not the right move. That just made tank boring and brain dead, so people stopped playing it even more so. So now we're in a situation where what we really need is we need tank to have a purpose in doing their rotation that's outside of just dealing freaking mediocre damage. If they did what you're asking for, DPSers would need higher potencies. Great. Increase the potency, sure. Take away, I think tanks and healers should deal no damage whatsoever. Tanks should have a massive multiplier on enmity. Not so much where just dealing any damage will give them immediate threat on anything, but it has to, since you lower the damage, like damage has a multiplier of enmity, right? And so if you reduce tank's damage to 1%, then you need to increase the threat gain in accordance with that. Or it may be a separate number. I'm not sure how it's calculated, to be totally honest. But let's just say that it's not calculated based off of damage. So just reduce their damage to like literally 1, right? Like literally freaking 1. Because it doesn't matter, right? It's irrelevant. That's not your freaking job. And so, and then just increase the threat gain to be like decently high. And so that's it. That's all they need to do. So you have to fight now for your threat, which has nothing to do with damage. It's just because the threat generation shouldn't be that high. So you're constantly, it's like, look, if you want to keep the threat on the boss, you got to do your rotation properly. And you don't have to do it perfect, all right? It shouldn't require you to do it perfect, but it should require you to do it correctly more often than not. And then that should also tie into your damage mitigation. Like doing your rotation correctly more often than not should increase your damage mitigation as a baseline thing. And then give them ways to protect the party from damage more so than just like, big AoE's coming. I'll use this like frickin' 2-minute cooldown I have here, literally, that will protect people from a very moderate amount of damage. It's like, okay. Sure, I guess. No, we should be doing frickin' tanks should be doing intervention. Off tanks, like there should be tank swaps are good. That's a great mechanic to keep tanks engaged. And the off tank should be doing interventions. They should be doing that. Right? The main tank should like I have a meter that fills up, right? When I am playing tank. And then I can use it on intervention to protect other players, or I can use it on Sheltron to protect myself, right? A bonus protection. So the main tank should have, basically, I fill up my gauge, and then I'm using Sheltron to protect myself, because the boss should be, like, cracking me with, like, big hits every so often. And I need to be using Sheltron to protect myself from that. And the timing is important, because it's 30% damage reduction instead of 15 if the timing's right. So if I'm a really good tank, you're going to notice, which is great. This is the direction that I thought they were starting to go, and maybe they will continue to go in this direction. But this is, like, exactly the type of thing I've been waiting so long for tanks to do. It's just like make them engaging to play and make your skill as a tank matter. So it's like, okay, the main tank does that, and then make the off tank have to do this, right? Interventioning people. Like the boss should be using certain skills on certain other party members, and the off tank should be going around just protecting people. That should be their role. You're a protector. That should be the role of the tank, is to protect people. So, yeah, and I see they have a reduced effect here, 10%, so it's 20% if you time it right, which is freaking awesome. It's great. Lean into this more, Square, please. Stop focusing on the damage. Who gives a frick? Mediocre damage, holding aggro, leading the group. That's all you really do as a tank. Yep. There's a good chance I'll go back to Warrior at some point if I feel like tanking. Yeah, Warrior's cool. I agree, damage shouldn't be a tank and healer's focus. I never like that. Honestly, all these gripes come down to parsing. Drives me nuts. Yeah, for sure. No parsers shouldn't exist. These MOs kill their communities, letting us get information put into sites that show that stuff. It's not Final Fantasy 14, but other MOs don't take you if there are no parsers on certain fights. I don't really mind parsers. I think they're effective for DPS to like see how people are doing, to measure your own personal DPS and maybe see if you're like if you're the leader of a group, to see like who is sandbagging, if there's anyone particularly sandbagging. I think it's like pursers are generally fine personally. I know someone of like my general persuasion of like, oh, healers and tanks shouldn't deal damage. Usually that comes along with the, and parsers shouldn't exist. But I don't mind parsers. I think they're fine. I don't think you should be used to gatekeep. I don't necessarily agree. I 50% agree with that. I don't think people should be gate kept from dealing damage or from playing in a group just because their damage is low. However, if your damage is low, you can legitimately prevent your group from clearing a fight. And so that needs to be considered, right? There has to be some level of gatekeeping. Like if you go into a fight and there's 4 DPS and 3 of them are doing 80% of the damage, 90% of the damage, and the last guy's doing 5% of the damage, that's a problem. You need to gatekeep that person. You need to tell this person, listen, you need to pick up the damage, and we'll give you an opportunity to learn the fight and to do more damage and learn your class, whatever it needs to be done. Like, be patient and understanding. But you also need to have standards, right? There needs to be a balance. Right? We can't have this, like, no gatekeeping ever. That's not going to work. And we can't have the, oh, you did one fight and you had slightly less DPS. Oh, well, you're freaking out. Like, see you later. Like, you're not in top 1%. You're freaking out, right? Well, that just doesn't work either. It needs to be a level of, okay, listen, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you opportunities. We expect you to be dealing good damage on your class, just like you expect us to have patience with you as you learn the fight and potentially learn your class. Hopefully you'll know your class before you're going into a fight. But, you know, there needs to be a push and pull. There has to be a balance. And in most things, as most things are, there needs to be a balance. So there's just no frickin' reason why we need to gatekeep people to that extreme, but there's no reason why we wouldn't have some level of standards, right? Like when people say gatekeeping, it's really just having standards in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, not all cases. Sometimes there is legitimate gatekeeping, but I think people take gatekeeping a little too far as a concept, and it's really just having standards. And I think you need to have standards when it comes to performance in difficult fights. If you're doing frickin' dungeons, who gives a frick? But if you're doing like raids, I expect performance. I expect you to perform. I'm going to be patient and understanding, but my patience has a limit. And there's other people in here that are also performing. And if you're constantly fricking up again and again and again, and we just can't clear because you specifically are holding us back, you know, there needs to be decisions made. Damage parsing should be left to the DPS players. Yeah, for sure. Like, healers and tanks should not be dealing any damage whatsoever. Why do you need to compare damage as a healer if you're clearing content? Yeah, for sure. For sure, 100%. It's not 14, but other MMOs don't take you there if you're no person or certified. Oh, yeah, that's right. I read that. I don't think there should be gaping. It's becoming more and more common. Yeah, I mean, for sure, elitism, you know, to that extent of, like, just being like, oh, you know, it's just like having low tolerance, right? Like, low tolerance, high standards. That's just not great. It's just as bad as having unlimited tolerance and no standards, right? Both of these are bad. Gatekeeping, you could say, I don't really think it's gatekeeping. I just think it's having too high of standards, and having too low of standards, which is like no gatekeeping at all. I think both of those are the wrong takes. I really don't like in the Final Fantasy community how they push this whole like, we must accept everyone and we must not gatekeep anyone. Everyone must be available and able to do the fight no matter what. We must be loving and inclusive all the time, forever, for always, even if they suck and they're the freaking worst. Like, no. If you suck, I will give you an opportunity to not suck. But you need to stop sucking at some point, or you're out. And that's just the way it is. Too bad. You gotta stop sucking eventually. It's the only way you're gonna get better. It's a tool. People use it in good and bad ways. That's, yep, for sure, Scorps. First, I use it to gauge my own performance and make sure some guy isn't playing like garbage, but others definitely take it too seriously. For sure. For sure. I think it's a great tool. It has the potential to do great things, but it also has the potential to be abused. Though I dislike parsers, I'm usually a purple to orange parser. That said, my party finder has no prog. And as an orange-purple parser, I can keep up with a clear group as with an easy video guide. I'm not saying include anyone, but like I'm queuing for the gear you want me to have. I'm queuing for the gear you want me to have, and decline me. How do I get said gear? All hypothetical. For sure, for sure. I mean, you just gotta find a proper group, right? That aren't filled with freaking a-holes. You just gotta find a group that is willing to have that. Nobody wants to be like it's a group of 8 people, right? Nobody wants to be in a group with a leader that has unlimited patience, because I don't want to freaking sit for hours because Ted McGee can't freaking get it together and stay alive and deal damage, and we're not passing because we're hitting in rage because we don't have enough damage in the fight, right? And he's been doing this for hours. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do that. And so I don't want to be in a group with a leader who says we must not gatekeep anyone at all for any reason. It's like, frick that. No way. But I also don't want to be in a group with fricking Sweaty McSweatster as a leader who says if you die 1 time or if you die twice, then frick you, you're out. Or if you're not dealing top percentile DPS, then frick you, you're out. It's like, but you don't need top percentile DPS. Listen, this is what I need from you. I need you to do the mechanics well. I need you to do them consistently. And I need you to do good damage. And I need to clear the fight. That's all we need. And if you make some mistakes here or there, or your damage is dipping occasionally or going up occasionally, and as long as you're consistently improving and not dying to the same mechanics over and over again, dying a couple of times to the same mechanic, understandable. But dying all the time to the same mechanic and consistently having low damage, not acceptable. But you will be given opportunities to improve and do better. And when you make a mistake, you shouldn't feel guilty that the leader is freaking rolling his eyes, unless you're really sandbagging. But then you'll know that you're freaking sandbagging, and you'll feel bad just out of that fact, that you're not performing as well as you would like to. But you shouldn't feel like... You shouldn't feel self-conscious that your team and your leader is upset at you because you make just a couple of mistakes. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Or that your damage isn't like the top of the top. It's like, all right, well, it'll get there though. At least that's the idea. It should be getting there. And if your goal isn't to get it there, well, then you're just not in the right spot. You need to go somewhere else with a group that will put up with that. But if you're doing hard content, your goal should be to do it the best that you can. Not be the best, but do the best that you can. And as long as your best is meeting the minimum threshold to get the clear, that's what matters. Anyways, yeah, that's this is not a popular opinion, I don't think. I think just even mentioning taking away damage from tanks and healers would probably throw the Final Fantasy community at large into a total freaking frenzy. People would lose their freaking minds. Thankfully, I don't give a frick, and I'm so small that no one will ever hear these opinions. For what it's worth, it is what it is. But that's the way I feel about it. I mean, my healer take is the thing that's most spicy to people. But, yeah, it's, it is what it is. Feels good to do the highest damage and encourage me to do better when I'm doing bad, so I quite like using it as using a parser. But I have no reason to use it as a tank or healer if I'm doing my rotation. Yeah, 100% Scorps. I'm telling everyone to talking over Reddit, get canceled. I honestly, genuinely pray for the day that we get freaking canceled or something. Or like there's some controversy about our channel. Oh, please. What great publicity that would be. That would be amazing. There's a reason I throw out like frickin' edgy comments that could be misconstrued occasionally. I do like edgy kind of humor in general. So that's also like a factor, but also like the publicity from getting canceled. And I just don't really care. Like if there's a bunch of people that are just so mad at me, I just don't care. It like doesn't affect me at all. Like I've been dealing with freaking a-holes on the internet since like literally the internet was a thing. So it doesn't matter to me, man. Like a bunch of a-holes online, whatever, bro. So cancel me all you want. We'll take the publicity and whatnot. But yeah, that's my take on it. Take all that damage away. Bring back cleric stance. Fix tank stance. Take it all away. No more damage. Be great. Can't frickin' come soon enough. Redditors are definitely some of the people ever. Yeah, well, Reddit's gotten really bad over the years. Really bad. It used to be a great website, dude. Oh, man, it was so amazing. Back in the frickin' day. It's trash now. Absolute garbage. Didn't used to be that way, folks. Used to be that way. Alright, well, should we, I just gotta do something here on the Discord real quick, because the poll thing. Open a ticket and post image from the closed poll. Okay. So here is closed poll image. The poll that oh frick. I'm all crazy here. Let me just pause my stuff here. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's resume this. This. And so we did trials, right? Yeah. White mage. Yep. It is what it do be. I do love healing. Yeah, maybe I can turn that hot take into like a video. Or not a video, like a something. Clip. Do a 1.0's players take on tanking and healing. How tanking and healing should be in Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, probably wouldn't be too bad, maybe. Do extreme yet? Extreme, like this patch cycle, you mean? I haven't done any extremes at all for a long time. I haven't done extremes since... oh, I guess I did extremes in Shadowbringer. I did this extreme here. Dancing Plague. I think I started doing the Crown of the Immaculate. But I never finished it. I didn't do any of this stuff extreme. So I did Plague here. I just haven't had a group or the time or the desire. I did these 2 extremes here. I didn't even do this Shinryu yet. There's the Rathalos one. Yeah, so. I used to, in 2.0, I meant Expert Roulette. Yes, I've done Expert. In 2.0, I led a raid group of like 50 people. We had 3 frog groups going. It was amazing. But is not anymore. Hey, there's my cute little picture now. Very good. Let's bring this back. There we go. What's your guild ID? What's going on with this tank? My guild ID. Not sure what that is. Oh, frick. If I open up Discord as admin, will that insulate it from my hotkeys, I wonder? Let's see. It'd be really cool if it did. Ba-bum. I'm not sure where that is found. Did insulate it from my hotkeys. Sick. Type in Discord then. Ooh, what a perfectly placed bubble. The white mage placed that? Where's that? It was the white mage place though. Nice, looks amazing. Okay, I should really be healing. Oops. No! I'm a fool! Hate letting people die, it's the freaking worst. Invite this guy to Discord server. Hold on. Frick! Don't let this guy die. Nice. Yep, I do have this. I got lilies. Trying to do all these different things at once. Why is invite not a freaking? It is. Okay, invite server Jeevers. Give this guy the game club role here. being the worst healer in the world right now. But I really got to get this pull stuff fixed. And the dev is not super active, but they're being really active right now, so I got to take advantage while the iron's hot. Scorps, quick question, Graham. How does the glamour dresser work? Can I use it without existing glamour prisms? Yeah, so the glamour system just basically like makes a catalog of plates that you can make. Can I heal these guys in here? Nope. So it just makes like a catalog for you to pull from, and then you can like slot in all of the things you put in the glamour dresser in into plates. And then the plates can be used without any glamour prisms. To swap when you like hit your change class, you can like apply a glamour plate, and the glamour plate applies all of the glamour stuff without any prism usage. It's just like all automatic. That's what the point of the glamour prism is, or the dresser is. And then yeah, you can, as Phil's saying, you can only apply the plates in town. Goes on for days about healing and lets people die. Yeah, I know. It kills me inside, trust me. What exactly is a glamour plate and how do they work compared to glamour prisms? So the prisms are just like a currency that you use. They're just like a currency that you use to apply glamour manually. So like here's my plates here. So these are the plates. So you go to the plates, and you have 20 of them now. And you basically set up like preset glamours. And then you can apply these glamours. So like right now, my white mage and my sage are using the same gear. But when I switch to sage, you'll see in the log here, it applies glamour to all of the gear when I'm in town. If I switch while I'm out of town, it's gonna not switch the stuff, which makes it look really bad. But it switches all the glamour instantly for me. So, and it's all like in a macro. So I've got this macro here. So it's got the icon of the stone, and then it's a gear set change to 4, and then fashion. I don't know why it's saying fashion. Gear set 4, and then angel wings. I'm not sure why it says fashion. There's probably a reason for that. But the thing is, when I switch to gear set 4, the plate that is attached to the gear set will pull from plate 6 and then pull from plate 1. So yeah. In fact, I want to bring this. I'm going to change. I'm going to frick up my macro, but so the white mage is now 1. Sage is now 2. Red mage is now 3. And paladin is now 4. Okay, I gotta actually come to think of it. A portrait is to be up. Okay, there we go. Why the frick do prisms exist? They exist because they're a relic of the past. It's an old system, but still applicable anywhere for an individual piece. Yeah, they're a relic of the old system. I get to reuse the same outfit for all my classes and be lazy with glamour, pretty much. Yep, as long as the gear that you're using works on all classes. That's the catch, right? Most gear is not usable across all classes unless it's like specifically a aesthetic item. But if it's like gear like this is only usable on healers. the specific stuff that I have. So I can only use this look on my healers. And then this outfit here, this is obviously only usable in white mage, so only my white mage can have this glamour stuff. So I just want a noir glamour set and then be done. Yeah, you could probably get that set up. I like the way that this eye kind of comes through on this. Really cool. Yeah, I really like glamour. I've got a bunch of glamour stuff. I got, so I have like glamour stuff that's just like glamour, like the actual outfit. And then I have the ones that are like through the prisms. Or the glamour plates, sorry, not prisms. Because they only had 15 before, but now they have more. Or they only had 10? I don't know. They added some recently. Whatever it was. So, yeah, there's a bunch that I haven't been using for a while. But there's just so many outfits. I wish you could do like a randomizer a little bit of like every time I switch to red mage, it like picks from like X plates. So it's like a different one every time. But I'm just really loving this outfit. I think once I get the weapon, maybe I'll change it. So I'll change to probably change to this one. What was I using on? Yeah, I was using the butterfly one. So this will probably work good with the new weapon. There's also this one here. That's the 2v one with the cute bow. And I've got another one. This one here. This is another one. This is the Scorpion Harness from Final Fantasy 14 or 11. So it was 10 and 20. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, and then I've got them for all the things. Okay, let's see. Yeah, most of my glamour stuff is like crafting things, which I hardly ever craft anything, but I spent a long time coming up with outfits that I liked. So they're not going anywhere. I'm gonna head to bed now. Have a good night, Scorps. Great to see you as always. So close to getting this frickin' thing, but man, I really don't feel motivated to, let's see, that'll give me to 400 just from the bonus. But then 400 means I'll have to do this plus something else. And from here, and I'll have to do like, I'll have to do like 2. Wait, why does this give 10? Isn't this the newest one? Why does this one give 12? The frick? What the frick? Very strange. Yeah, then I have to do 2 of these in order to get to... No, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd be 1 off. I do 120. That gets me 300. And then 20. So that would give me 300. 410, let's say. 410. And then I could do... 410, and then I do 80, and that's 490, and then I do a trial. Actually, you know what? That would work if I do this here, cause this one would take me all the way, or any of these. Yeah, I suppose we could do that. Dungeon is this? Oh. Cool. What am I missing? Just this? Crisis. Ah, Foxconn 2, it seems. It's fine, it's not a big deal. Man, you don't hear this song very often. Doses 3, missing that. Nice. Kind of reminds me of like a Bowser song from Mario. Dude, I do not remember this dungeon like at all. What the frick? Shouldn't have been this long since I did this dungeon. I guess it has been that long. Shadowbringers. Like 4 years since I probably did this dungeon. Where are we going? Oh, frick. Where's that one? I wonder if we were doing this because of that sprout. What? Why? Oh! What? What? Huh? I must have fricked that mechanic up. I have no idea. Oh, why am I angry? There we go. Alright. Yeah, I'm not sure what that mechanic was. It just one-shot me, but it is what it is. I obviously picked it up. Bad there's no res. Does give me an opportunity to check out some of this stuff on the Discord. The poll stuff that's not working. Ah, they died. That's bad. Alright. Let's see what's going on in this fight. Okay, so... Okay, I see, I see. So it got redirect. That's what I wasn't paying attention to last time. And so when he bursts here... Yeah, because I had the debuff on still, I got fucking exploded. Okay, it was as simple as paying attention. I wasn't paying enough attention because I was doing frickin' pole stuff. Okay. People enough. Okay, so I've got a thing, so I go here and I put it on there. Why? Why? I don't understand why he does that every time. Like, bro, what are you doing? Wait, can I put it on there? No, the red one's just not... Come on. Do I have to, like, touch it? Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, I lived. What a mess. Oh. Go. No super hyperbolide for super hyperbolide? Super bolide for that one? Tank Buster. Weird that he was doing that. Okay. So can we just go this close? Like, bro, you knew I was walking to that one. What are you doing? Gonna live, right? Okay. Man, I don't know why I got one shot that one time. I must have been low health or something, because I must have got taken that one hit and then not healed up from that hit in time. It must have been.
What took you so long? The amounts are in trouble. Let's split up.
tanks that I've gotten in groups recently is insane.
Oh, no, you don't.
The guy's just like very normally sitting in the thing. He's supposed to be dead, but he's like sitting upright still. Dang, this is going very slow. Oh, I remember this fight. Is that black mage gonna get hit? Yep. Wasn't sure if he knew or if he didn't know. That's the thing with black mages, you never know. Sometimes they just stand in the thing and the last moment they zip away. And sometimes they don't know what the frick's going on and the tank's gonna get hit. Nice. Me. Oh, now I'm the one not paying attention. Oh my gosh. Reading frickin' tickets. Or my ticket, rather. Over here, over here. Okay. Just walk through all the missiles on purpose, that's fine. Surely not. Oh boy. Like damage is pretty freaking low right now. Oh boy. Hi, tank. We riding dragons now? We are. You just try and pick up those dragons? That's hilarious. Okay, this is when we were initially first going to this thingy. Yeah, that's right. Going to this tower for the first time, I think it was. Uh-oh. Don't move it too far. The dragon's gonna do a breath attack, I think. Or not. That'd be too helpful. Right, that really cool Bahama. That's right. Okay. Lunar Baja. Well, it's Tank's first time. Fair enough. Long cutscene. This is the longest dungeon ever! I did not expect 99. Nice. Did not expect this dungeon to be so frickin' long when I initially decided to go in here. Okay. What are you doing? Why did you super bullite? I don't understand. Great. Why did he do that? I don't understand. You noticed that? Hey. Holy frick. How do you not understand how to stack, bro? What the frick? Who are you? You just like skip booked yourself here? Is that what's happening? Okay, I see. Gosh dang it. Okay. Okay, I see. Tank's gonna get double hit or no hit. Okay, very cool. He's gonna get double hit though. Very cool. Giga Flare. Assuming that's Tank Buster. Why did you not do a shield? Or no. That's raid wide. Cool. Can't pull this guy frickin' in here again. Very cool tank. Very cool. Jeez, what a frickin' mess this is. Uh-oh, that ain't it. That ain't the one, tank boy. Flat. Did he use a cooldown for that? He did. Seems like he did. I don't understand. He was cognizant enough to use a cooldown for that, but he's super freaking bull-lighting right at the beginning of a fight? Huh? Who are you, bro? And he doesn't stack up? Very confused. Guy. What are you doing? You stupid dummy. What are you doing? How many times I gotta pull you in the stack? My gosh. All right. Well, now we will go in here. We should be really close. Yeah, so then we can do one of these. Let's see, which one would be most fun? Probably this one. We'll definitely go in as white mage. My gear is low. Cool. Actually, you know what? Should do all of these. And what about the raids? What do the raids give? 20. Which should be the fastest. This one's pretty quick. This gives 10. Okay. I guess any of these would be fine. We'll see what happens. And then after I get the weapon, I'll be done. Ugh. A little over stream time right now, but it's fine. I gotta start working on anime club videos. Got the Jujutsu Kaisen movie reaction coming up. Hey, look, there's the... Wow, I didn't realize you could just look down here at the Aetheryte. Dang, seeing no one here is wild. There we go. Out of ordeals. Okay. Okay. Totally different fight. Interesting. Doesn't happen very often. Double white mage. Alright. There's no way we can lose now. Perfect. Multi-level. Okay, now just do that again, but twice the damage. And twice as long. Dang. I guess it is a multi-hit. Oh, didn't even take away the shield. Holy frick. Don't blow. Woo. Where are you? Little frick, don't die me. No! Gosh, frickin' dang it. Oh, frick, so we heal up. Oh, nice. Alright, we cleared that one with their face. Very cool. Uh-oh. Wait, why did that not frickin' heal that guy? Let's kill him, buddy. Uh-oh, you need to go further away, friend. There you go. Come back together, friends. Only 3 tank busters? Come on. Nobody touch the giant expanding death hole, okay? Uh-oh. Ooh. Buddy. No, it just kills him. Dang, this healer's quick. I love it. It's a good healer. Dang, they're on it. Nice. Eliza? Good healer, Eliza. Look at that. Oh! Oh, I walked into it! Are you kidding? I'm such a freaking idiot. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. Holy frick, I'm stupid. A little too lazy on that. we go. Good. More! The bell's so cool. I virtually have never used that bell, but it's so cool. This person knows the fight really well. They knew just when to throw out the bell, when it would be, like, utilized. Someone's gonna get hit. Perfect. I can use the Belma here. Oh, probably overheal there. Ooh. No! Oh, they got the res on him already. Nice. I think you really should have prioritized. No! You fricker. That was nice frickin' healing. Dang it. Calm him. You're quick. Okay, that should be... Oh, huh? Did I do the math wrong on this? Oh my frickin' gosh. Am I stupid? Holy frick. Am I actually stupid? What? What was the frickin' math on this? Did I not get... Oh my gosh. Holy frick, I'm actually dumb. Fricking stupidity. I don't know where I fricked the math up. Guess I was not paying enough attention. Oh well. Alright, well, that's it. Not like there's a bunch of people watching anyways, so... Well, we will be back on Friday. Well, actually on Thursday for more Final Fantasy. And then we'll be back on Friday as well. It'll be a duo stream. So if anyone made it to this end of the VOD, you are one of few, likely. But yeah, so we'll be back in a duo stream this weekend for more Final Fantasy, and it's gonna be a good time. So hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you for anyone who watched the VOD. Appreciate you coming to watch, and we'll see you in the next one. Hey, everybody.